Welcome. Your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen, and Kelly Girl hanging out down here in beautiful Cabo. It is Thursday. That means it's fishingbooker.com Thursday. We always talk about Fishing Booker and all the great things that Fishing Booker does for everybody when they go fishing. We'll show you a cool little video a little bit later in the show. Up there in the top right-hand corner is the Fishing Booker logo. You go to fishingbooker.com. Anytime you want to go fishing anywhere on the planet, you don't know who to go with, go to fishingbooker.com and log on there and tell them where you're at, and you'll be blown away by the amount of boats that are involved with Fishing Booker. Not only is your saltwater guide involved with Fishing Booker, Justin Boat Trail, Bowline Sport Fishing, Captain Al Clowers, Captain Pablo Fernandez, Dana War Sport Fishing, all the San Diego landings, everybody's involved with Fishing Booker. So check them out. And today we have a special guest. We actually have three. We have Kelly Girl, we have Bill DePriest, and Mike Bond from the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival, because we're getting ramped up. Kelly Girl and I decided we're coming to beautiful Southern California grounds where we actually feel safe hanging out there, and we're going to be doing the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show with Mike Bond and Bill DePriest and all of you. I'm super excited. Kelly Girl's just on here for a couple of seconds because we promised all of you that we were going to give, well, I had nothing to do with this. Kelly Girl said she was going to give a 4-pack of tickets away. So she spent a lot of time following along with everybody, looking at all your comments, and it took her a while to figure out who to give this 4-pack of tickets to, but she's going to tell you right now, and then we're going to get into the show.
Well, first of all, I want to say I love you all. Everybody's great. Everyone, I had to pick one. So I picked Tim Ogilvie. So Tim, you have 4 tickets to the show.
Oh my gosh. And look at, he just jumped on right there. There you go, Tim Ogilvie.
Congrats,
look at that.
Tim.
Kelly just gave away a 4-pack to Tim Ogilvie for the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Festival. So, you know what, gang? You don't know what it is. You don't know what the show is. Well, today is the day to find out all about it. We got a couple of really great guys with us today. Kelly Girl, thank you very much for jumping in with us. I know you got a lot to do to get ready for the big day tomorrow. So,
all right, guys. Bye.
Love you very much, honey. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us. And gang, let's get Bill and Mike in here. These guys are so busy right now. Mike Bond left us. Mike Bond has left the building. There he is. Bill, what's happening, buddy?
How's it going? Good morning or afternoon or whatever time it is.
We're super excited to have you. We'll bring the QR code up throughout the show, gang. We're going to pull it off right now while Bill's on here, and we'll jump the QR code back and forth as we go. This is how you're going to get your tickets to this show, and by the time you're done listening to Bill and Mike, you're going to definitely want to be at the show. Wow, Bill, you must be so tired. What you're pulling off right now is going to be, I am super excited. I just can't wait. I'm so excited to come see all the people. So tell us about what's going on. How did this come to be? You've been doing this for quite a while, right?
Yeah, we started the show, I think it was back in 2009, which is 16 years ago. Started off just in the Huntington Beach building, which is the smallest building at the fairgrounds. And our goal was just to produce a super dedicated sport fishing show with amazing seminars for education. And we kept that up for years and years, eventually adjusting to bigger buildings at the fairgrounds, but never really got past one building. We had really high-end stuff, amazing seminars, but just we're not ready to step to the next stage in the show business there. We really didn't want to bring in a bunch of booths that don't make sense to what we do. It would have been easy to step up to 2 buildings a long time ago and have a bunch of booths that, fishermen aren't going to be interested in. So we decided to kind of hold where we were. And then after COVID, we couldn't have a show in 21. And in 22, we decided to go ahead and step up to 3 buildings. I think that's the first year that Turner's joined us. We had a bunch of new vendors that year, and it just really was a hit that year. We expanded greatly. The attendance went way up. And as soon as we were done, Mike and I walked the fairgrounds and just made the decision that we were going to go ahead and take the entire fairgrounds, move the show to March, and just go full steam ahead. there's been no stopping it since. It's been pretty darn exciting.
It's been really fun for myself and Todd Manser to watch this thing because, you know, Todd and I are super close, just like you and I and Todd are super close. But Todd and I have been with you since the beginning. It has been so fun to watch this thing grow, and just absolutely blows my mind how big it is now. And when you were telling me what you did this year, that is just incredible. This new outdoor tent that you did, and you're like, no, Dave, it's not a tent. It's not one of those little tents you have for a wedding. It's it's like a building, right?
Yeah, this is like a 25-foot tall, 60 by 140-foot steel structure. It does have a tent outside, but it is a giant building. It's the only way for us to add in additional booths. We had so many people that we had to turn away last year. It was such a bummer that we went ahead and expanded into this building, which gave another about 50 booths, and it gave us the ability to move the Daiwa seminar stage up into that building. So it's been a huge, undertaking to get everything approved by fire marshals and everything. And we finally got approval a couple weeks ago to know that we can do everything in what we're looking for. We just needed more expansion. You know, there's so many more people that wanted to be a part of what we're doing, and they're industry people. And the last thing we want to do is turn people away. Although in the past we were known as a saltwater show, over the past few years, the freshwater market's grown. The fly fishing guides from Montana have come down. All the high Sierra stuff with Convict Lake and Mono and Bishop and all in Max Sporting Goods. You know, all those guys come down now. As far as the freshwater bass side of things, we have all the big swim bait guys. And you know, if you're into fishing, it doesn't matter if it's fly fishing, freshwater fishing, saltwater, surf fishing, fishing giant tuna on long range boats. Everything is at the show.
Now, is Bond going to join us? I have questions for him. If he was there for a second, what happened?
I can run over and check on him.
No, it's quick. Okay. He'll figure it out. But okay, we'll save some of that for him because he's been in the industry for a very long time also, and he has done an incredible job, just like yourself, pulling all these vendors together. Gang, I want you to listen very carefully to this. This is an amazing number. Bill, how many exhibitors are going to be attending the show this year?
You know, at this point, I know we have, I think our 10 by 10 booths, I think are over 600, something like that. Plus all of the bulk space from the boats and some of the larger stuff. So it's right around that number. You break out all the brands and stuff. It's a pretty giant number. I think it's probably one of the largest congregations of fishing and outdoor industry brands maybe ever put together in Southern California or California itself.
And then, like you were saying, and still being as big as you are and being as big as it is, I know people that have called me and said, is there anything you can do, Dave? Can you talk to Bill? Can you get me in? There's no room, right? There's no room at the end.
Yeah, we're completely done. And there's some things we're working on for 26, some expansion ideas, and there'll be some more opportunity for new vendors and stuff to get involved next year. But for this year, we're tapped completely.
No, there is no spices available, Matt Ryan. There's nothing. It's sad because we don't want to not have everybody there. Bill feels the same way, but you can only do what you can do, right, Bill?
Yeah, I think again, everything we do is with a plan, and felt like that expansion we did this year is done in a way that these people will have a great show just like everybody else. I don't want to grow too fast to the point that we end up putting people in areas that, they're not going to get the traffic and stuff. So we have to do everything just like we did with growing the show. We've grown a building at a time or a couple buildings at a time to make sure that everything matches up. So it's been great.
And then, we're going to show you guys the speaker list. We're going to show you who's going to be there. We're going to show you the schedule. We're going to give you a layout of what's going on. Just keep watching the show today. We're going to show you all that. Don't worry. We're revealing it all as we go along here. We're just having a nice conversation with Bill right now. But yes.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we just want to say from Mike and I is how thankful we are for the support of the industry and the support of the attendees. And, we would not be in this position to have the largest show in this area if it weren't for the support of those people. So we just want to say thank you to everybody.
And Bill does mean that from the bottom of his heart. And those of you that are new vendors to the show, you're going to find out the personal touch is mind-boggling. Bill cares so deeply about each and every one of you guys. When you guys are there, you're not going to believe you're going to get to have a conversation with the guy. He's going to touch everybody, and which is hard to believe with 600 plus vendors there, but he does, and he cares. And my goodness, I've never seen anybody get so worried about people's feelings like you do. If you had to sit in my chair and listen to this shit I got to put up with all the time, your head would explode, Bill. But Bill actually cares so much about us. You can't imagine how you're going to feel. The vendors will all tell you that have been there in the past. You feel the connection. It feels like family. That's why everybody that is a vendor, that has been a vendor in the past, can't not be there. Now there's a whole bunch of new vendors going to be involved in this, and they're going to get to see the love. They're going to get to see what you do, what you've done, Bill, with the entertainment out on besides the fishing stuff, and the seminars are second to none. You have the biggest names in the industry talking, but as you wander around out there, you got the trout, kids fish free trout pond, which is incredible. And so many children caught their first fish there. But then you go over and you see Jay, and he's got the prehistoric pets, and he's just so in touch with everybody and letting everybody touch his alligators and his snakes and his lizards. And then you got so much stuff entertainment wise. You got bands playing in the big, what I call the mall, out in the middle of everything. There's so much cool stuff. And then the food. Talk about the food for a minute. We got so much to talk about, but you bring in some of the.
So real quick, we have 3 live bands playing. We have one that's a steel drums group that's out by the trout ponds. We have our main stage in the main mall that's a live country band, and then we have another band now out by the new building. So we'll have three live music entertainers playing the entire time. Like you said, we've got Jay with the prehistoric pets. We've got Route 66 doing the gold panning stuff for the kids. We have a falconry lady that's bringing the falcons for the kids to see. The trout ponds, we have 2 trout ponds, so there's plenty of room for the kids. There's just a lot, and our food is incredible there. Everything from barbecue to teriyaki chicken bowls, and we're going to have a new shave ice vendor this year that makes some of the best shave ice I've ever had. It's just like in Hawaii. It's actually done properly. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. It's just the way it's laid out and the way it's done. It's an entire day of enjoyment. Most people are going to go 2 or 3 days. I think it's very difficult to see everything in a day.
Which is hard to understand if you haven't been there before and you've been to other fishing shows in the past. Everything here pretty much has to do with you and your family. So we know that you're going to bring your children. We know that you're going to bring your wives, or you're going to bring your husbands, depending on which one of you like to fish. But there's basically stuff there for everybody. No one's going to get bored, right, Bill?
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of entertainment. To go back what you were saying is as far as caring about the vendors, I think, growing up in this industry since I was 20 years old, I know that every vendor that comes to the show that is a small 10 by 10 or a 10 by 20, these are small family businesses that, we take the responsibility extremely seriously, that we need to make sure that they have a great experience and the best opportunity to sell product. Those checks that they write us to have a booth, a lot of time come out of their personal account or out of, money that affects their family. So that's where the stress comes to me, is to make sure that everything's perfect for my vendors, because I know how much it means to them.
And if you look at the floor plan here, we have it up on the screen right now. Those of you driving in your cars, listening on Spotify or Apple or whatever, you can go back and look at this on YouTube later tonight when you get home. But if you look at the floor plan, the way that everything's laid out, it's all laid out. You and Mike worked so hard laying this thing out so that it just flows. Everything just flows so easily, gang. You'll be just blown away at how the flow goes. And it's just a nice way to cruise around the building. If you have a stroller or you have a wheelchair, everything's super accessible. Bill doesn't leave anybody out. Everybody's taken care of as you flow around in there. And then the big outside area is where all the entertainment, all the craziness is going on. There's some beautiful boats out in that patio, right dead center in the middle where we're talking about. You see the live music stage there highlighted in the dark blue in the show entrance right there. Bill, what we have to emphasize to everyone that's not been there before, that entrance every day, you and I, Elliot, and anybody else that's been there before, people start lining up so early. It's just crazy, right? It's like going to a concert.
Yeah, the line can be giant, and it's not that people can't get their tickets purchased. It's that they want to be the first ones in to get a deal is most of that. So yeah, the line is giant in the mornings for people trying to get in and get the best deals and everything. I think another thing that's really important to talk about is the fact that as far as, boats go, I think a lot of people think, oh, a lot of boats are out of their financial reach or whatever. We have dealers with small boats that are, budget boats all the way up to multi-million-dollar, giant mag bay yachts and things like that. So there are boats to look at from every standpoint, from a smaller bass fisherman that just fishes lakes to somebody who wants to buy a Viking. Galati Yachts is there and they represent Vikings. So you have every different aspect, like I said, from freshwater fishing, the guy that enjoys surf fishing a couple times a year, to somebody who rides the sport boats, to somebody who has a yacht. There's everything there and everyone's welcome. It's there to teach people to fish. We want people to feel included, that maybe take their grandson once a year, maybe fish every couple years. Those people, we want you guys there. We want you to have the opportunity to learn and learn about new experiences and trips to Alaska and all different things to enjoy the passion for the outdoors that we all have.
Absolutely. And we're going to throw up a who's who of the industry right here. These are the seminar speakers, and you can kind of go through this for a minute. Bill, what I didn't do is I didn't get the times up yet, but I'm going to get them up while you're going through all these different speakers, which are really the who's who of the
there's even more. There's even more than that are we were able to fit on there. So there's even a few other guys that are not on there.
So go through it a little bit and talk about it while I try to get this schedule.
So I know a lot of you guys know who Steve Lasley is and who Anthony Shea is, the whole Bad Company deal. They'll be there Friday evening giving their update. Jeff Markland from the Thunderbird. Dwayne Diego from Pinnacle is very well known. Brandon Hayward from Bite Sport Fishing. Casper Kazisian, they're a surf fishing experts. Him and his brother, they're doing some writing for the magazine, have a great following on Instagram, really well known. And we're adding some surf fishing seminars this year, which we have never had in the past. So that's kind of exciting. Captain Austin Chavez, he's with Pinnacle. Kyle Grover, huge bass fisherman. Last year, he won one of the largest Western Outdoor News tournaments. Eric Landisfine, one of our great writers, he'll be up there. Dave Hansen, and you guys know him. Gavin Harbour and Matt Brayla from Captain's Concepts, they'll be doing some stuff. Jake Clinshaw, he's with Bite as well. Jerry Mayhew, Benny Florentino. Bryce Herman, he's up out of Oxnard, probably one of the better sword fishermen. We're going to be doing a deep drop seminar. I think that's on Thursday evening. Brian Nguyen on the jigging stuff. James Kakawa, same thing, jigging. Justin Petrell's part of your group. He's going to be up there. George Bolo, he's one of the best jiggers on the West Coast or on the East Coast. Him and Benny Ortiz will be in there. Randy Spicer from Kicker. Todd Woods, awesome bass fisherman. Oliver Nye, he's amazing big bass fisherman. He's actually doing some guiding in the saltwater now. Incredible fisherman. Afran, he's a good, bass inshore stuff. Evan Salve will be there this year. I think he's creeping up there to be one of the largest money-winning captains as far as tournaments go, which is pretty cool. It just goes on and on. It's, Bill Egan, Carl, the pilot for Air Pilikia. You've seen his photography and stuff online. He probably has a better view of migration patterns and conditions and what fish do in those than just about anybody. Todd Manser, who's a great friend of both of ours, he's been hosting my main stage for, God, it's got to be 13, 14 years. It wouldn't be the same without him. He does an amazing job. He is knowledgeable in just about every aspect of fishing, that he would be a great guest in any of these seminars as well. So it's pretty cool to have him hosting. Steve Carson's awesome from the sport boat side of things. Jonathan Madrano he's a private boater. He keeps kind of a low profile. He writes for us. An amazing surface fisherman for offshore pelagics. Captain Nico, he's a new captain with these guys. Again, tuna experts. Bobby Martinez, Sean Stewart. He's going to be there talking white sea bass with Brandon Hayward and Sean Roberts from the Ghost. Benji Kim will be in there for the surf stuff. God, there's so many of them. It just keeps going on and on. Fred Clinshaw, Kevin Madison, JD Blackmore from the bass side of things. It's just the best of the best. That's the way we've done this for years, and just super proud and thankful that these guys will come out and share their information at our show.
Yeah, the one thing that caught my eye, and I'm kind of bummed because I'm going to be speaking at the same time, is Carl, who you got to come last year, and the who's who of the industry was in the audience. This year, you got Carl and Steve together at the same time. Oh, my gosh. I'm so bummed I'm speaking at that exact same time over on the other stage. That's going to be incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah, that one's a pretty darn interesting one. Like you said, there were a bunch of captains came out of the woodwork to see that one.
Yeah, the who's who of the industry. If you looked in the audience that day, you would be like, what are these guys all doing here? What's going on here? And they were all there to hear Carl because none of us had ever heard Carl speak. I mean, in a seminar situation, and you were able to pull that together, which was pretty incredible. I'm having a hard time getting my Dropbox to load the seminar schedule, but gang, it's going to be all day, every day seminars. That's basically what this show has been all about since you and Drew put this thing together in the very beginning. Was seminar based with a little bit of a trade show around it. Now it is just can't even comprehend what it's turned into. It's just an absolutely amazing deal, right?
Yeah, and the seminar topics, it's so cool that we have everything from, trout fishing the Sierras and local trout to local freshwater bass, surf fishing, up to long range trips, swordfish, deep drop, tuna offshore, white sea bass, yellowtail at the islands. I mean, it's if you enjoy fishing, there is a seminar that matches up for you.
Exactly. And besides all that, there's just so much other fun stuff going on out on the floor. I threw the QR code right up there now to get your tickets. And what Bill and I were talking about a few minutes ago was the line. The line to get in is extraordinary, and we love that. We love taking drone video of it. We love seeing it. It's not going to slow down the flow of getting in there. Once that gate opens, the line disappears in a couple minutes. But I just want you to understand, if you don't purchase your tickets online, and we're not trying to force you to do anything, but if you don't get your tickets online, when you get there and you see the line, and we're not making it up, the line starts around 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday and Friday, gang. The gates don't even open till noon. And Bill and I and everybody else involved, we're always shocked at how many of you get there so early. But we understand because we're as excited about the show as you guys are. But when you get there and you see that long line and you haven't got your tickets yet, that's just one extra step you're going to have to take. Bill has plenty of ticket booths. There's plenty of people. I'm not trying to tell you that there isn't, but that's just one step you don't have to do, right, Bill, if you get your ticket online?
Yeah, if you buy your ticket online, you just go ahead and line up in the pre-sold ticket line and you're ready to go. If you want to buy it at the show, that's not a problem. We have plenty of ticket booths. They'll get you right through. Like you said, it's just another step you have to take. And if you are somebody who does not like lines, just wait a half an hour after it opens and show up. It's just the people that want to be there and see the things first or get, first spots in seminars and stuff. If that's something you don't want to do, totally understand. Just get there like 30 minutes after opening, and you should be able to walk right in.
Yeah, exactly. Walk right in. The gate's huge. There's no problem.
And like you said, once we do the national anthem is sang live right before opening of the gates. And once those gates are open, my guys at the gates are very used to doing this, and they move people through quickly. They scan the tickets really fast, and that line moves really well. So.
And that's something I was going to mention, but you mentioned it. Every morning, those of you that have never been a vendor at the show before, it's pretty spectacular because Bill and I are super involved with War Heroes on Water, and War Heroes on Water will have a booth. And just because we're such great patriots of our great nation that we live in, Bill stops everything every morning before the gates open, and he does the national anthem every morning. It's just, it brings a tear to your eye as you raise the flag or as you open the flag there on the hangar door. It's a phenomenal experience it is. It's just, it gets you in your heart every time, Bill. And I thank you so much for doing that. And I know the War Heroes super enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, that's something we're definitely really proud of.
And it'll touch your hearts, gang. It just makes you go, wow, you're at a real patriotic event that is a fishing trade show. And if you listen to me and Michael talk about the history of sport fishing, Bill, they wrote the Declaration of Independence inside of a fishing club that was masquerading so that they couldn't get caught and have been charged treason and hung. So it all comes together. I mean, it's making the hair on the back of my neck stand up right now. Gang, I want to show you something from fishingbooker.com, and then Bill and I are going to delve into this, how we are so into taking kids fishing and how Bill has taken that to a whole different level. But watch this little video that Fishing Booker put together for us real quick. If I can find it here. I don't have my Elliot right now. There it is. Boom, here we go. Where you are, fishingbooker.com can find you a boat to fish on. But there's nothing like fishing with your kids. Nothing like going fishing with your son or your daughter, being out on a boat that can actually find you fish and get memories and take pictures like that and just fish with your kids. There's nothing like it. Let fishingbooker.com find the right fishing boat for you. Go to fishingbooker.com, wherever you are on the planet, and they'll find you a boat to go fishing on. Yep, you got to check out fishingbooker.com, gang. Don't not check them out. Now, Bill, let's go into this, how this show revolves around the children, all the different things that you have going on with focused on the children there. Mike Bond, welcome to the show, buddy.
So yeah, the family side of things, I know from myself, raising my three sons, how important getting these kids into fishing and making it fun for them. So the trout ponds there, incredible. And Mike from Official Outdoor Business, they're the ones that run it, Mike and his wife, and they're just amazing people, and make the experience so great for the kids. And that's for some people, they don't feel comfortable going on a sport boat yet. They don't feel comfortable going to a lake by themselves. What a cool experience to bring grandson, son, daughter, granddaughter, whatever it is, and let them experience a great opportunity to catch their first trout. It's a catch and release pond. And then Jay with Prehistoric Pets, having all of his cool reptiles. He's very well known. And the kids and the adults, I thought it was just for the kids, but man, every time I turn around, the adults are handling everything and everyone's having such a fun time. And then like we said, the gold panning is awesome. I mean, and then we have the falconry lady who has falcons. I think she's bringing a surprise bird this year. That's going to be even more exciting. It's just all these opportunities to get kids into the outdoors and getting them off of the computers and getting them off of the video games. And, like I said, I raised three sons, and I spent their entire growing up with them on boats with me or on trips to Alaska or whatever it was, even when they were little, just to introduce them to the outdoors that we have a passion for. Yeah, exactly. And then, gang, if you come to any of my seminars, my sister, Donna, she is all about children. She's put together quite a few gift bags. So we try to make sure that every child that attends my seminars gets a free gift bag, which is going to be a free fishing trip or whale watch trip out of Dana Wharf, a shirt, a hat. The bag's going to have all kinds of cool stuff in it just for children. I stop my seminars right when everybody sits down and gets ready to relax. I stop it for a minute and I bring all the children up on the stage. The really amazing thing about what I'm doing is I understand how important it is
and how hard it is to get your kids to come with you to the show. And then I want to make sure that they want to come back next year. So we focus heavily on the kids. I want to thank my sister, Donna Kalis, very much for always putting together a great gift package for the children. And Mike Bond, what a heck of a deal you got going on. Fish for Life will be there. Donna's and my father helped put that together back with Mr. Holden, and they've done a phenomenal job of taking so many highly handicapped adults and children fishing, which is one of the most incredible things. If you've ever seen it, you come to see Fish for Life, come hang out, talk to Jim and everybody over there and see what we're talking about. Right, Mike?
Oh yeah, I did it last year with Jim, and it changed my life. It was absolutely amazing, and Donna was so involved, and she was up on the bait tank, screaming and yelling at the kids. I don't know, they just think of everything. All of a sudden, the kids go crazy, and it's a real, true life mermaid out in the middle of the ocean. We're literally fishing, and they do this whole thing. They catch a shark, but it's a bucket. And all the kids come over there, and then it pops up. And then they have a pirate war with the mermaid. It was absolutely amazing. The detail, and the kids have such a great time. It is such a worthwhile cause. It's so great.
And then having you involved with Bill has been just a pleasure because you spent so much time over at Western Outdoor News. It was just a perfect fit for you and Bill to bring all the exhibitors together because of the trust that they all had for you for so many years. You've made it very easy for Bill to get all these people together, right? I know you don't want to say
No. I'm just a soldier here, Bill. No, Bill, absolutely. Behind the scenes, it goes on here. Some days it blows my mind. This guy can do a million things it's a pleasure. We have a great time working together, and we've been having a good time here. The growth of the whole thing is sometimes we always look at each other and it's like, it's got a mind of its own. Really, it's truly the groundswell of all the small businesses that show up, and there so many of them are like these small independent guys that are in a garage. They come up with a good lure, they start catching fish on it, and all of a sudden they buy a booth, and they're calling us like, hey, how do I set up my booth? And can you give me some advice? And then all of a sudden they're coming back for the second year. They were successful, and it's just a blast. It's really a pleasure to be involved in. And we work really hard all year long to get to this, and then all of a sudden it's like this massive anxiety curve that goes way up, and then you're there Saturday afternoon and the whole thing is going off, and it's so much fun. And then Monday morning comes and you're like, oh, the parking lot is empty. There's sandwich bags and seagulls picking through everything, and you're like, what am I going to do? Right? It's like it's almost a little melancholy, right, Bill? I mean,
yeah, it's the build up and then it's over.
Yeah, and then it's over.
And then you take about a half an hour off and you get ready for next year, right?
Right.
Sort of.
Yeah.
So, Bill, you do something really special at the show. We kind of touched on it a little bit when we were talking about the national anthem, but what you do for War Heroes on Water and the party that you have on Friday night, that the exhibitors are all invited to donate and come to the party and get to meet some of the heroes. Talk about that for just a few minutes, please.
Yeah, so Friday night we do a vendor get together that is to raise money for War Heroes on Water. I think from what I was told, the last 2 years, I think we've raised a little over 100,000 in the last two shows. So that's a one night event twice. We've raised over 100,000. And it's an organization, like you said, that I've fished with you in it. I've been in it a couple of times and been with the guys, and the experience of being with these heroes and understanding that, they don't get treated like heroes all the time, sadly. And it's an opportunity to get these guys out on the water and just watching these guys talk things through that they probably don't talk to very many people about. It's an experience that everyone should have to understand. A lot of people have political comments and things about military and different things, but the only people that really can say much are the people that have put their lives on the line. And I think once you spend some time with them, you definitely, it opens up your eyes about a lot of things.
Yeah, and I put the QR code up there because what we talk about, Anthony's been on the show. Bill, you were on the show last year, Mike Bond. War Heroes on Water is a year-round donation time, because this isn't just about the fishing tournament that we do with Anthony. These guys do so much Freedom Alliance for these war heroes, so it's a constant fundraiser. And what are they doing? They're giving scholarships to the children that have lost their mother or father overseas fighting for our freedom. They do so much that you can't even comprehend. When you stop and you think, you're like, wow, I didn't even think about that. Well, Freedom Alliance thinks about all that. So I have the QR code up there. It's always good, and it makes you feel good inside to participate in this. And then so many people watch our show and talk about, how can I get involved? Come to the show, go to the War Heroes on Water booth, go meet at Rod Halprin and the guy. There's always 5 or 6 war heroes hanging out in the booth. You can talk to them. The men and women that are hanging out in the booth, they're true, real heroes. They are real heroes. They just can't believe the love. When you, and Bill, you know, when we're driving around on the boat and they see the parade, and they can't believe that many people love them. And when you guys go to the show and you go over to the booth and you talk, just walk in and thank them for what they it blows their mind. They had no idea that so many of us cared about them. It's just a fantastic thing you do. And then Anthony comes to the show, and Anthony's a true hero too, because that man doesn't have to do this. There's no glory. He's not looking for glory. He's actually giving back to the men and women that have given everything to allow him to live the great lifestyle that he gets to live. And Mike Bond and I and Bill get to live. So we can't give back enough. And what you do at the show is incredible. And that party on Friday night is pretty special for the vendors to come and meet all the war heroes.
It is cool. It's a great celebration for all the vendors to get together and enjoy themselves. And at the same time, we're just raising money for an amazing organization. So it's pretty neat.
It's a pretty amazing organization. So what is the chances if we wanted to get a booth for next year's show, Mike? What do we got to do? How do we get on the list? There's a lot of people watching this show that have a lot of cool products that want to be a part of the biggest fishing outdoor show in California. How do we get a booth? What do we got to do?
It's pretty easy. You just go onto the website, sportsfishingfestival.com, right? And you can sign right up.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
There's links to reach out to Mike. And yeah, like I said, there's going to be more opportunities. We're going to have a big announcement Sunday at the show. We'll put it up on social media for 2026, but there's going to be more opportunity for 26. We're very excited about what's coming.
What I would suggest, and I don't know the inner workings like Mike and Bill do, but I would suggest getting there, going to the website now and getting on the list now, because like, I don't know how many people you guys have had to turn away, but I know how many people have contacted me because they know my relationship with you two guys. And they're all, Dave, I can't do anything, gang. You got to get on the list now. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and I think the wild part is the retention of vendors, the people that come back. It's about 97% or something like that. And the ones that don't come back, typically they have a family thing come up. They're either not doing that business anymore. There's usually a very valid reason. We don't have people not come back because they were disappointed. And the majority of them are asking to expand. And we're having to tell a lot of the vendors that we can't give up any more space. I had multiple vendors that were looking for another 10 or 20 feet to grow some more this year. And unfortunately, we just can't give it up. We also want to bring and be inclusive to as many new vendors as possible. You know, we want the people that walk the show to just have so many different amazing products and trips and boats to look at that they want to come back every day.
And something that I have seen over the years of going to the show, gang, there isn't big, long areas of massage chairs and popcorn vendors and peanut. It is fishing, 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 fishing. Maybe a guy with some beef jerky, but maybe a small amount. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my butt, but what I've seen over all the years I've been involved with this, it is fishing, 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 right, guys?
We sell out very quickly. The industry people are on us very, very quickly, and our return vendors to where it's just we're sold out so fast that there's really not room for anything else but industry stuff. There's a few knife people, and there's some, like you said, a couple of beef jerky guys. You have to have a couple of beef jerky stands out of 600 and something booths. You have to have a couple of beef jerky guys, people like that. But besides that, the show is a very focused fishing, outdoors, and adventure travel is the main focus of the show, and that's what's there.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's magic, but watching this guy lay out the show, building by building by building. Now we have it is a puzzle that is unlike anything, because you can't put a 20-footer in if you have a 10-foot guy. You can't shuffle everybody down one. Everybody wants their spot where they were last year. And then you want competitive separation. You can't just have a whole row of Alaska guys. So there's a real concerted effort that we spend days on, not just one day, but days and days, really making sure that everybody has a good spot. No dark corners really at all anymore. It's just there's a certain effort that is taken to make sure that everybody that comes has a good spot with good traffic and nice neighbors. And it really is, it's fun.
That comes down to, like we were talking about, our responsibility to these vendors is to make sure, I have been to other shows that I completely disagree with stacking 10 vendors from Alaska next to each other. I think it's unfair. These people, then they just start price gouging each other. And you should not be choosing your trip to Alaska or your trip to Mexico or your trip to Africa, for that matter. You should not be choosing it off of price. You should be choosing it off of merit, off of what these people do with their businesses. And this is the opportunity to go and shake hands with the owners and meet some of the captains and make your decision wisely. Don't go down and pick up a bunch of flyers and find the cheapest one. That's not the way our vendors are. Our vendors are spread out. And they have the opportunity to sell to attendees off their own merits and not price wars.
And what I've witnessed over the years of being there, Bill, you put it together like you put together the magazine for so many years. Everything flows. Like the way that the magazine is always done is this article flows right into the one that's coming right after it. When you go to page 16, page 15 was the end of one article, page 16 is the beginning of the next article, but they're flowing together. And I feel you kind of do that with the show. As we're wandering around in the different halls, we're wandering through these things, and you've got it set up that you want to get to the next one because you just saw how cool this one was, and then you want to get to the next one, right, Mike?
Yeah, every 10 feet. I mean, we love the big guys, right? The Daiwas and Pure Fishings, the Okumas and people, but every 10 feet, you have no idea what's going to be right around the corner, and it's all fishing related. That's the coolest part.
Well, instead of being one gigantic building with long rows, it's multiple buildings broken up. It's almost like going to 8 different shows. Every time you enter a new hall, a new building, you're entering a completely brand new area to look at stuff. The way the fairgrounds are laid out, we have the entrance in the center there, and we call it the horseshoe. So people will either travel to the right and they'll follow the horseshoe all the way around, or they'll travel to the left and follow the horseshoe all the way back around to the front. Now this year, adding that extra building, we have a horseshoe with a small spur off the side. So you just got to go that side, out the spur, back in, and follow the horseshoe around.
And something that I love about this whole show is that everything flows so good that the next thing you know, gang, you're like, I only got to see a quarter of the show, because it's not like you're like wandering around. What am I going to do now? I don't know. I've gone all over the place, and you don't make it. Like Bill was saying in the beginning of the show, you don't make it through the whole show. We're not trying to sell tickets. We're just letting you know you're going to need to come 2 days. That's why everyone always asks me, Dave, what's the best day? Thursday, by far. Nothing. You got to be there Thursday so you can figure out where you're going on Saturday and Sunday, because you're going to come back. But if you wait till Saturday or Sunday, then you don't have any time. I always tell everybody, be there Thursday, and then that way you can get the family together on Saturday or Sunday and then go back and see the stuff you didn't see.
Well, and the even distribution of products and ideas in every building. We have anchor retailers in every state. If you're looking for tackle, there is at least one anchor retailer selling fishing tackle in every single building. So every single building will have tackle. Every single building will have travel. Every single building will have manufacturers. Every single building will have some travel. It is extremely evenly distributed. You want to see every building in the show. There is not a building that you would say, that one's full of a bunch of junk. There is no such thing.
No, that is for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry. Kelly says I talk about myself way too much. I'm going to talk about myself right now. The really cool thing about what Bill does for me is he puts me in a different building every year, which allows you, because I got 800,000 followers right now. So a lot of people are coming there to see me, but it allows you guys to see other things. If I was only in the hangar, those people that come to see me, you're only going to be going straight to the hangar to hang out in the booth, wait for me to speak. Every year I'm in a different place. And this year I'm super excited to be in the new structure, the new, I call
Pacific building.
The Pacific building. We built
Pacific
it around
building.
you, buddy. Yeah, the whole thing was built around Dave Hansen in the Seminole stage. I'm not lying.
But it's pretty cool. I love that about what you do, Bill, because you understand. And for the new exhibitors that are going to be in that building, it's going to be cool because you're going to have a ton of people going through that zone, going through that. And you're going to get a lot of exposure because of the massive amount of people that are coming there with this shirt on, and they come and they wear this shirt and they know they get free stuff. And there's vendors that are going to be in the show that if you go to their booth, if you go see Dave Farron over in the hangar at Deckhand Sports, you're wearing one of my shirts, you're going to get free stuff. If you go over to Sam Delatorre and you go see him and you go see Colt, you're going to get free stuff. It's kind of cool. So you'll see the sea of your Saltwater Guide shirts at the show. I'm so proud of what Bill has done for me. I appreciate it like you can't even believe it, Bill. I just love that. It's pretty spectacular. And then, gang, I can't emphasize enough, those of you that are exhibitors that haven't done a trade show before, I'm just going to give you a couple of pointers. You don't set in your booth. Don't put your table right at the edge of the booth and set at your booth. You're not going to get in. You're not going to get what you want to get. Move the table back, stand up, be a part of the show. Introduce yourself to the people. Talk to the people as they're walking by. Try to slow them down. If you're just going there and you got 2 chairs and you're going to sit there, that's on you because the people are going to be there. The volume of people are going to be there. I go to the show. I stand up the whole time. I stand up all 4 days, and then I do my seminars. And I tell you what, when I get home on Monday afternoon back down here I am exhausted. But I know this is my opportunity to touch all these people, and I'm just trying to help all the exhibitors that haven't done a show before. And don't set in your booth. That's not the chair. That's cool to have it there. Once in a while, take a break, sit down, drink a sip of water. But I'm just going to let you know that there really isn't any downtime. The volume of people Bill and Mike put through this show is mind-boggling, and you will all do very well because I'm going to tell you another little secret. You're on the other side of the orange curtain. That's a different world, gang. If you haven't been on the other side of the orange curtain, there's a lot of money on the other side of the orange curtain, gang. A lot. So stand up. Don't sit down. I'm just trying to help you. That's all I'm trying to do. You can really have a phenomenal time there. Kelly girl, the first year she went with me, Bill, she was just absolutely, and that was 14 years ago when she went to the first time. And she was blown away by the volume of people that came to your show. She just couldn't even believe it. And that was when it was one hall. Now it's incredible. And then Bill and I, Mike, you weren't there, but Bill and I, this show's super special to Bill and I because this is the only trade show that my dad went to. That's right. He didn't go to any other trade show, gang. And if you don't know who he is, I just put out a reel about him. He's a true legend of the industry. He's the reason why we all get to do what we do. He fought very hard for us to get to fish, and he loved you, Bill, and he came to your show. He didn't go to any other show. He came to your show. He came to your show. He watched me speak. So it's always
that's the first time he ever saw you speak anywhere, correct?
Oh yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. That was a big deal.
It was a huge deal. Michael Folks on one side of him, you on the other side, me crying like a little baby up there on stage. It was absolutely insane. So it'll always have a special place in my heart. Your show will always be super special to me. Here I am crying again like a little baby. But Dana Wharf Sport Fishing will be represented at the show. They have a nice booth there. My sister will do a wander around. She doesn't really spend much time in the booth. She's kind of hitting the spot she has to hit. CCA will be in the booth, gang. The Star Tournament. We'll talk about that for a few minutes. You can sign up for the Star Tournament at the show. It's kind of cool. They got another boat to give away at the Star Tournament. Rollo's.
They're moving locations. So they are actually going to be, when you first come in the main entrance, if you turn to the right, they'll be in front of the Los Alamitos building with the boat this year. That way they're closer to West Coast Marine, who they worked on getting that Parker with. So they're kind of working together there. But yeah, I'm a board member on CCA. They are the organization that is fighting to make sure we have the rights to fish. And if you have the opportunity, join as a lifetime member like we are. If you can donate money, make sure you join as a member, get into that Star Tournament. It's probably the only tournament that the average fisherman has a shot to win a boat. You don't have to be a superstar. It's based on a much different way of thinking than a tournament where it's just the biggest fish. That's not the way it's done. So everybody has an opportunity to win that boat and other prizes. But the money that you're giving there is what takes care of these things and gets people organized to fight against groups that are trying to stop our ability to enjoy the outdoor with our kids and our grandkids. So,
and my friend Mike was asking, and yes, Bill is well aware of the movement your saltwater guy did at the commission meeting. We were talking about it before we went live, and he wanted to thank all of you. We've been talking about so much stuff, but yeah, Bill and Mike wanted to thank all of you for showing up at that commission meeting on the Zoom call. We all know we made a difference, and Bill and Mike know we made a difference, and we want to make sure you all know Bill understands it, right, Bill?
Absolutely.
It was pretty amazing from where
look back when the MLPAs were first coming in, and we would go to these meetings and there would be 20 people from the industry, and then they would bus in 300 people on school buses to be there. We just had no way of organizing properly. Now with your reach and the reach of different publications and all this stuff, the ability to get out there and through social media and being able to actually organize these people, it's a game changer. It's the opportunities that they had that we did not.
And anybody that's watching, that's coming to the show and you're watching Bill, let me tell you something, gang. If there's something coming down the pipe, your salmon, your sturgeon, whatever coming down the pipe they want to close, contact me. I'll bring you on the show. We'll get everybody organized. We can stop this crap now. We just found out we can stop it. They don't have the power anymore. First of all, you got to see how many people actually care about the environment that they say that we're destroying by the amount of people that showed up as opposition there. There was only 5. Back in the past, Bill, there would be 20, 25 people when they were getting that government cheese and they were all standing up there. Now they feel the movement is changing. So if you got something coming down the pipe, you think there's going to be a closure and you want help, I will help you, whatever. I'm all about fishing. I want to save fishing as much as I can. Another cool thing, Bill, I want you to talk about is Rollo's Kids at Sea.
Yeah, we'll get to that in one second. I just want to say one of the things that you said that probably should resonate with everybody. I don't care if you're a fly fisherman in the Sierras. I don't care if you enjoy bass fishing in lakes or if you're a commercial lobster guy, whatever you are, it's not about sand bass. It's not about one fish. It's same way with these hunting guys. We need to all, as outdoorsmen who protect the environment, we need to all stick together. If they're trying to take away anyone's rights to use the outdoors, we should all be on board. I don't care if you've ever fished for a sand bass in your life, or if you even live in an area where there is sand bass. It's not about a sand bass. And Dave, when you said that resonated with what I've been saying for years to a lot of people, and that's that it's not about one thing. It's just getting their foot in the door in any way possible. So everyone should hear that and say, that makes sense. Even though I only fly fish for trout up in the Sierras, I need to help fight for that, because they will be coming for the Sierras next. They will be coming for, hunting deer. They will be coming for all of these different things, and everyone needs to stick together. Commercial, sport, hunter, hiker, everybody needs to stick together.
Yep. And we can now, gang. We just showed the world. We can stop California. Gang, all of you talk so much crap about California. We did it. We stopped it. Well, we didn't stop it yet. We still got April when they make their big decision. But now there's going to be a lot more people in the skew in April, because now we showed the world that we can slow this thing down by
100%.
we the people coming together. Right, Bill?
Yes, sir. So the Friends of Rollo, they've been a part of our show for the past, 4 or 5 years. Again, another absolutely amazing organization that we all grew up watching, that gets these kids out to fish. And, if you have that money that you've been saving up to help out some organizations, and you want to help out ones that actually are a part of what you have a passion for, there are multiple ones at the show, between War Heroes, Mission Fish with Brian, Friends of Rollo, CCA. I mean, these are all organizations, War Heroes on Water. It's all going to things that help the people that we care about. So bring a little extra in your envelope, maybe, skip the coffees for a month or something, and shoot some money their way and help them out, because these organizations are doing God's work there. So.
Yeah. And Rollo's Kids at Sea is an incredible organization. Are they going to be in the same place in the hallway there?
Yeah, they've been in the Santa Ana Pavilion for years now. They're in the same exact spot they've been in.
All right.
So last 2 years, I've given Rollo, for me, it's a lot of money, $200 each year. I watched the drawing live on Facebook, and their first draw, Mike Lum pulls it out and he laughed and he said, "Mike Bond, I won the $2,000 Okuma prize. Last year, I won a Shimano Talica." And there are thousands and thousands of people that enter that thing. So you don't need to put a bunch of money in there. You can get lucky, and it is worthwhile.
Yeah, and you're helping to take kids fishing, which is the theme of the show, gang. When you come to the show, you're going to see so many children. You're just going to go, wow. So don't not bring your kids. I promise you, your kids are going to have a ball. They're going to talk about it for a long time. And if you don't know who Jay is, Bill's kids, my kids grew up going over to Jay's Prehistoric Pets and seeing all the animals. And Jay came to my kids' birthday parties. That guy has more energy than all of us together. My God, the energy that guy has is just absolutely incredible. And he loves to show his stuff off to all the children.
And he's a fisherman.
Yeah.
Big time fisherman. He's been on the podcast before, as some of you know. And then I got to go over to the zoo and see all the stuff, because now they call it pretty much a zoo. And if you haven't been there yet, you definitely need to go check it out. It's in Westminster. It's very easy it's on Beach Boulevard. It's super easy to find. It's very, very cool. If you haven't been there and you got some little one, but like Bill said, the adults get so into it. I mean, I got to feed an alligator there. It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah. So I had the pleasure of getting Jay his first swordfish. He was on the boat with me when I got my 12-year-old his first swordfish. I think I got him his first cow, bluefin as well. So we've had some good times together. I've known him for a long time, and he is just an amazing person that's just loves to educate the kids on the animals and get that stuff out there. He's a kid himself. He's a kid in an adult's body for sure.
Right.
He's a good fella.
Speaking of education, so the falconry gal, Gia from Adams Falconry, will be there. I think I heard Bill mention her. She's going to have story time, right? She's going to have educational 3 times a day. She's going to sit kids down and talk about the falcons and, the pesticides and things like that, rat poisoning and all that, not to use that kind of stuff. And it should be pretty cool. You can learn a lot about that.
You're right, Mike. she's going to be there. That's an added bonus. We haven't seen her yet, so that's something new to the show. There's just so much stuff. We can't cover it all in an hour-long show, gang. I put the QR code back up there while we're talking. I know a lot of you don't like to hit the QR code because it takes you off the show. I'm going to leave the QR code up there as we fade away off the show. These two gentlemen right here, Bill and Mike, have so much stuff to do. The show. How many days till the show, boys? I know you know exactly down to the second.
I think it opens 2 weeks from today. So it opens 2 weeks from today. But before we sign off, I just want to say, you know, how thankful I am from myself and my family of the support that the attendees coming out. You know, I'm a small family-owned business. We own the magazine and the show. We're not a big, giant conglomerate or anything. And everybody that comes through, and from Mike, you know, we're just so thankful that you guys come out and invest your money in you know, trusting in us to produce such a great show. And we're so proud to have everyone there. So just thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Mike. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today. Gang, next week on Thursday, Kelly Girl will be with us on the show, and she hasn't even asked permission from Bill and Mike yet, but she's going to give away a 4-pack of tickets again next Thursday. That'll be the last day before the show we're going to be on here. So we don't know who she's going to pick, just like she picked Tim Ogilvie today. We don't know who. And then tomorrow, I got Coastal Worldwide guys on the show. Gang, if you posted a picture of your children fishing, remember Matt Ryan's giving away his $50 gift certificate to your Saltwater Guide store to somebody's children. I've seen a handful of pictures come through in the last couple days, so you got till tomorrow, and we're going to give that away the beginning of the show tomorrow. I got the Coastal Worldwide land-based shark fishermen on the show tomorrow. They've been on the show before. It's going to be a super fun show. You guys aren't going to believe all the unbelievable sharks that they caught. And Bill DePriest and I, we're kind of weirdos for fishing for sharks. We kind of like that. So I'm excited to have them on the show. And Bill, I'm sure you'll be watching it while you're hanging out doing nothing for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody grab the QR code, and I'll see you all at the show. Right, guys?
Sounds good. Thank you, Dave, for having us.